told me that it was anxiety. I thought, what, me? You know, I'd just come back from teaching structural mechanics in China, and I was just about to get ready for teaching civil engineering to the students. You know, it'd been my 17th, 18th year at the university, and then all of a sudden I've got these palpitations in my heart, and it just totally like freaked me out. Now I was like, God, like what's this? You know, I went home thinking that I was having a heart attack, or what was it? You know, little did I know that that was going to be the last time that I was going to be would be teaching. You know, after all the checks, the doctor said, yeah, it's anxiety. And I thought, well, what am I anxious about? You know, my family was fine, my finances were fine, church, friends, my health seemed all fine. You know, I was ready just to start my teaching again. And but then all of a sudden I've got these palpitations, and you know, I was like, God, what's happening? Sometimes people, when they want to express themselves to God, they use these psalms, which are like songs to God, different expressions. And there was this one, Psalm 139, "O Lord, you have searched me and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You're familiar with all my ways." And you know, like a little bit later on, I could see that that God designed me, and He knew me, and He gives me all I need for every day of my life. You know, I was just, God, what can I do here? And all I could do was wait. My friends and family and work colleagues were all trying to help me out. A useless suggestion to me was to not to worry about it, because I was trying not to worry about whatever I was meant to be worried about. Everything was perfectly fine. However, when I found that I couldn't get back to the university, that's when I started worrying. What about my job? What will I do now? You know, the university didn't know how to help me with anxiety. I ended up going to the Lighthouse, like a Christian counselling service, who were sort of trying to help me work through these things. I could soon see that my head was in the way, because as an engineer there's always like a solution to everything that is happening. Yet here's me, got anxiety, which I could see it was like just a matter of my body or my heart, maybe some motives that was impacting and causing these palpitations, which just wouldn't go away. What do I do? Like, a large part of my therapy was to relax and wait, and I did a lot of praying, did a lot of walking, looking at creation. I started painting, I started worshipping a lot more, playing the guitar, just to try and connect with God and connect with myself, trying to figure out what is happening here. You know, in that same psalm at the end, it says, "Search me, O God, know my heart, test me, know my anxious thoughts. Is there any offensive way in me? And lead me in your way." And this is what I knew that I needed. You know, I thought I trusted God, but letting go of control and trusting God, was this an issue? It was certainly uncomfortable journey to be going through, and a lonely journey also. One of the first sort of paintings that I drew was it was me on a raft, and you know, I've got like a little provision, and I've got like an anchor at the end of a rope that I've got a hold of. But I knew that there was going to be some stormy times ahead, you know, the waves, the rain, but I could see that there was going to be light at the end of what I was going through. This was a picture about trusting God. You know, I had an anchor, but if anything, I knew that I had to lift the anchor and let go of all the things that I was trusting in rather than Him. You know, it's scary to lift up your anchor and just go with the flow of whatever God's leading me in. One of the things I found was that I was finding my identity in what I did. You know, I'd been a civil engineer, I did a PhD, I was Dr. Scott, I'd worked in industry, and now I was a senior lecturer. And you know, this is not a path that I'd naturally chosen. I'd always been asking God, where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? You know, I thought I was going to be going to Bible college. I thought I was going to be working with the church. It's not what I wanted to do. I never thought I'd be doing maths. I'd be in industry. I'd be teaching in university. But I've always seen these places as my ministry area, where I can share God, share what He's doing in my life, talk about the church. If anything, I wasn't necessarily that good at all of the things that I did, because I used to spend all my time focusing on God. But yeah, letting go of the university, realising that I couldn't go back because of this anxiety, it made me think, oh right, well, you just realise that you've got like reliance upon sort of money rather than God, and you've got reliance upon who you are again rather than God. Like, on reflection, I was given a word about working in evangelism, about leaving my job, stepping out in faith. But you know, I knew that I couldn't do that, because I knew I'd come to rely upon a good salary and a consistent job that would you know, keeps me doing what I need to do in this culture to live in this society. But yeah, and then I had this anxiety, and which just totally threw me. I'm not saying that God gave me this anxiety, but I knew that I was certainly ignoring God when I think of where I am now. You know, it's a bit like Jonah. Jonah was asked to go and do something, and he just didn't want to do it, and next thing you know, he's swallowed by a whale and then sent in the right direction by God. And like, I had 2 years nearly of working through things in me, which was sort of helped me refocus myself on God. Like, now I've got a job with the Message Trust, where I now work in evangelism, and my salary is reduced, but the way things have worked out, you know, we're comfortable as a family with our finances, and I had nothing to worry about. I now get a chance to help others, share the good news of God with others. I've painted quite a lot of pictures. I think a lot of them have been around this psalm, you know, that he knows me and protects me. He watches me intently. You know, that God's been through my life, even when my dad died, and all of the difficult times that I've went through. He's been with me as I've gone to church, not known him. He's been there when he's introduced himself to me, and then I've had a great relationship with him, you know, from when I was saved to come to know him 17 onwards. And I've been able to be sensitive to God for a number of people at this time. You know, I've been able to go to worship services, sit and reflect and listen to God, and then paint pictures for people. I've been told that a lot of my pictures speak to a lot of people, and you know, this sort of time's helped me to slow down. But yeah, is everything sorted now that I'm back at the back at work, working for the Message? COVID is, you know, the pandemic's hit, and do I trust God? I would like to think I do trust God, especially with my health. I think I've struggled a lot with not having as much to do. You know, busy with the university, having something that was very, very definite. When I was asked to give my information for my daughter's wedding coming up, this is like, what's your profession? And I remember writing down, oh, charity sector. You know, operations manager, you know, to do with evangelism and church activities. And it's like, oh, I'm not writing down academic and senior lecturer, some profession. And again, I can see that, oh, I really do find my identity in what I've done. But I really do see that it's God who's given me these positions to allow me to minister to the people that I've had influence on. The whole idea that I've been trying to keep a hold of that. But I tell you what, letting go of that, I found that my palpitations stopped. I still sort of might sort of think, oh, get like a little sort of a bit of tension when I do think back of what it was like. So I do realise that I've got some hurt that I've got to deal with. But I trust God, and I trust that you can trust God. Have a read of Psalm 139.